Are you working hard, making a pretty decent income, but then at the end of the month you look at your bank account and you just wonder, where did it all go? Do you feel like you're on a financial treadmill just running faster and faster, but honestly getting nowhere? Well, what if I told you there's a proven system to build life-changing wealth that doesn't require a six-figure salary, a complicated budget, or some kind of superhuman discipline? In this masterclass, we are going to dissect a system so simple you can set it up once and literally put your financial life on autopilot, letting you build wealth while you sleep. By the end of this, you will have the exact step-by-step blueprint to escape that paycheck-to-paycheck cycle for good. Okay, let's dive into this and become an automatic millionaire.
You know, so many of us feel this way. It's this nagging sense that no matter how much you earn, you're always just one unexpected bill away from a total crisis. It's that feeling of living paycheck to paycheck, where your money seems to have a mind of its own, just disappearing before you even get a chance to decide what to do with it. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. This is not a personal failure. It is a system failure. You haven't failed at managing money. The system you've been using has failed you. And today, we're going to give you a new system.
And if this feels familiar, you are so far from alone. Just look at this number. According to the research, a staggering 7 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck. That means the vast majority of people are being left behind financially, just struggling to get ahead in a world that feels like it's designed to take every single dollar you earn. This is the reality for millions, but the good news is it does not have to be your reality.
So what's the real problem here? What's the root cause? Financial expert David Bach calls it the no plan. And it's as simple as it is destructive. Money comes into your account and then it just goes out. To bills, to rent, to subscriptions, to coffees, to who knows where. There's no intention, no strategy. You know, you're going to work around 90,000 hours in your lifetime, earning potentially millions of dollars. But with a no plan, you risk having almost nothing to show for it. It's a totally passive approach to your finances, and it is the single biggest reason people fail to build wealth.
But what if we could replace that no plan with a system that actually works for you, silently and effectively, in the background of your life? That is the core idea behind the Automatic Millionaire. It's a simple, powerful shift in thinking and in mechanics that flips the entire financial script right on its head. So let's get into exactly how it works.
Now this right here, this is the big aha moment. Why do budgets always fail? Why does telling yourself, oh, I'll just save whatever's left over at the end of the month, never ever work? Because it all relies on willpower and discipline, and let's be honest, we are just not wired for that long term. And every other company in your life already knows this. Netflix, your gym, your phone company, they all take your money automatically. Even the government pays itself first by taking taxes directly out of your paycheck. They don't send you a bill and just trust you to pay it. No way. They automate it because it's the only system that actually works. The Automatic Millionaire is all about using that same powerful principle for yourself.
And this brings us to the absolute foundation of everything. Pay yourself first. Now, this isn't a new idea, but the automatic part, that's the revolution. It means that the very moment your paycheck hits your account, a portion of it is automatically whisked away to your investment and savings accounts. Not after you pay rent, not after you buy groceries, but first. Before you can even see it or touch it or spend it, you are treating your future self as your most important bill, and you're paying that bill on time, every single time, without fail. Okay, so how much should you pay yourself first? The concept is beautifully simple. The first hour of your income every single day you work belongs to you. Think about it. If you work an 8-hour day, that's 1/8 of your income, or about 12.5%. Before the government gets its share, before your landlord gets theirs, you secure your future with that first hour. It's a tangible, really powerful way to think about building wealth 1 hour at a time, every single day. Now you might be thinking, whoa, 12.5%? That sounds like a lot. So let's break this down into a daily number. Look at this, $27.40. This is how much money you need to save per day to put away $10,000 in a year. You know, when you ask most people how much money would truly change their life, the answer isn't $1 million. It's often $10,000, enough to wipe out credit card debt, quit a job they hate, or leave a bad situation. Just $27.40 a day is the key that unlocks that freedom.
But here is where it gets truly mind-blowing. That daily habit, that small, seemingly insignificant amount of money, doesn't just buy you short-term freedom. When you invest it consistently, something magical happens. Let's see how this builds up. What do you think that daily $27.40 could grow into over a typical working career of 40 years if it was just invested in the stock market?
Look at that.
over $4.4 million. This isn't just about saving money. This is the pure magic of compound interest, where your money starts making money and then that money starts making its own money. Think of it like a tiny snowball at the top of a really long hill. At first, it's small, it grows slowly. But as it rolls, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and bigger, faster and faster, until it becomes this unstoppable avalanche of wealth. That's what turns a small daily habit into a massive fortune over time. And it's moments like these, seeing the true power of a simple system, that we aim to bring you in every explainer. If you're finding value in this video, please subscribe to our channel for more like this.
So seeing a number like $4.4 million raises the obvious question, where do we actually put this money to get that kind of growth? Well, history shows us that for ordinary people, wealth isn't built by getting lucky with lottery tickets or some meme stock. It's built by consistently riding two powerful, proven escalators to financial freedom. Understanding these is absolutely crucial. And here they are: stocks and real estate. That's it. It really is that simple. Almost all of the multi-trillion-dollar wealth held by average households is concentrated right here in these two asset classes. If you are not invested in the stock market and you are not in the game of homeownership, you are by definition being left behind financially. It's like you're standing still on the ground floor while these escalators are carrying everyone else up.
Now let's talk about that second escalator, because it's one of the most hotly debated topics in personal finance. You'll hear these gurus on social media saying that buying a home is a terrible investment and that you're way better off just renting and investing the difference. So let's look at what the real-world data actually says about that.
The numbers don't lie. The average net worth of a homeowner in America is over $400,000, and the average net worth of a renter just $10,000. That is a 40 times difference in wealth. So let's be clear, this isn't a small gap, it's a chasm. So why? Why does this massive chasm exist? It's because homeownership is a form of forced savings that also gets the benefits of leverage and appreciation, something renting can never ever offer. Let's just break down the mechanics of why this wealth gap is so huge. When you rent, you are simply paying your landlord's mortgage. You build zero equity, and your payments are almost guaranteed to go up forever. You are on the wrong side of the wealth equation. But when you own a home, part of every single mortgage payment is a forced savings plan. It pays down your debt, and it builds your equity. Your payment is fixed, which acts as this powerful shield against inflation. And crucially, that home equity is often what creates generational wealth, passed down to help the next generation get started. And this gets to the very heart of the myth. The whole theory that renters will just diligently invest the money they save, it sounds great on a spreadsheet. But in the real world, it almost never happens. Lifestyle creep sets in. That extra money gets spent on a nicer apartment, on dinners out, on vacations. As David Bach says, people simply don't do it. Home ownership forces the savings discipline that renting doesn't. You can't live inside an index fund, right? You have to live somewhere. Owning makes that monthly expense a wealth-building activity.
Okay, we've covered the why. We get the power of automation, paying yourself first, and the two big wealth escalators. Now, let's get tactical. How do you actually start? What is the very first automatic action you can take right now to get on this path?
For millions of people, the biggest barrier isn't a lack of desire to invest, it's the crushing weight of debt. It feels like quicksand, doesn't it? You can't even think about building wealth for the future when you feel like you're drowning today. So before we invest, we have to have a plan to systematically wipe out that high-interest debt.
Here is a simple, powerful formula called the DOPE method. That stands for done on last payment. First, you're going to list all your debts, not by interest rate, but from the smallest balance to the largest. Now, mathematically, sure, it might make sense to pay off the highest interest rate first, but we're human. The key to this method is psychology. Second, automate the minimum payments on every single debt. This is critical to avoid late fees. Third, take every single extra dollar you can find and throw it at that smallest debt until it is gone. That quick win gives you a huge motivational boost. Finally, once that first debt is paid off, you take its entire payment amount and snowball it, adding it to the payment for the next smallest debt. This builds incredible momentum, and it's the key to sticking with it for the long haul.
Once your high-interest debt is under control, where do you automatically send that first hour of your income? Well, the options are way simpler than you think. The easiest place to start is your company's retirement plan, like a 401k. If you don't have one, you can open an account with a low-cost brokerage like Vanguard or Fidelity in minutes, and you do not need to be a stock-picking genius. You can simply invest in a diversified index fund. Think of it like buying a tiny piece of hundreds or even thousands of the biggest companies all at once. For example, VTI gives you a piece of the entire US stock market, and QQQ gives you the 100 largest tech-focused companies. It's boring, it's beautiful, and it just works.
Ultimately, all of these financial tools, they're just that, tools. They are in service of something much bigger. David Bach often tells the story of his grandma Rose, who, at age 30, living paycheck to paycheck, just made a decision that she didn't want to be poor anymore. She started saving just 50 cents a week. That small decision, that dream of a better life in California, had a ripple effect that created generations of financial security. Her motto was simple: dream it, design it, and do it. Money is the tool that helps you design and actually do the life you dream of.
We've covered a lot, but information without action is just entertainment. So the crucial point is this: what is the one single thing you will automate today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Will you go into your company's HR portal and increase your retirement contribution by just 1%? Will you set up an automatic weekly transfer of $20 to a brokerage account? Will you list out your debts to start the DOL method? Pick one. Do it now. That single action is the first step on the path to becoming an automatic millionaire.